Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Fan Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a horror film from 1995. That movie is Ice Cream Man. Now, I really don't know a whole lot about this movie, guys. I know that it is about a lunatic ice cream man killing off possibly tons of people, and I know that said ice cream man is played by Ron Howard's creepy-looking brother. That literally is where all of my knowledge ends, okay? I have not seen a trailer for this thing, I have not seen an ad for it, I have no clue what the fuck I'm getting into. I do not know if this thing is going to be any good, I don't know if it's going to be interesting, I don't even remember if Clint Howard can fucking act. I just know that the movie is called Ice Cream Man, and it stars Clint Howard as a killer ice cream man. Which could possibly be interesting. It also could totally suck. I have no idea. The only way I'm going to find out if this thing is even halfway decent, though, is if I shut up and I push play, and I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Ice Cream Man. My God, guys, the acting in this thing is awful. Also, I can kind of tell this movie is trying to be a horror comedy, but it's neither horrific nor funny yet. So far, guys, we are off to a terrible, terrible start. All right, guys, I kind of have to say this. So far, our evil ice cream man has racked up a body count of at least 2 people and a dog, yet I cannot bring myself to care, because this movie is mind-meltingly dull. I was hoping, guys, for this thing to at least be, like, funny or goofy in a cheesy sort of way. I am not even getting that. This movie sucks. So wait a minute. So those kids have rockets on the ends of their bikes, so that way they can, when they get frightened, launch them at oncoming cars? Isn't that like a few dozen shades of not only fucked up, but also totally fucking illegal? Wow. And also, guys, mind you, that honestly was like the closest thing this movie has had to something interesting is a kid launched a model rocket from his bicycle at a fucking cop. And even that was kind of dull. God damn it, this movie fucking sucks. Oh wow, look at that, we now have a headless corpse. And I still don't fucking care. Why? Because this movie is still boring as shit, the acting is terrible. I swear to God, I want to find whoever the fuck wrote this thing, and I want to slam their head in a fucking car door. God, fuck this movie. Yay, and it ends with a sequel hook. No. I don't care. I don't care who is in this thing. I'm sick of hearing that goddamn song play. Fuck every human being who worked on this movie. I want you all to die. Okay. Well, guys, that was Ice Cream Man, and before I talk about the movie itself, I need to make a point abundantly clear here. After sitting through this painfully terrible thing, I can say this. We had here a story that, if it were in the right hands, could have made for an awesome film. Allow me to explain. The story is about a kid who saw his best friend, who was the ice cream man, get gunned down. This leads to him going to a nut house where he fucking goes through shock treatments, lobotomies, injections, tons and tons of whacked out stuff, leaving him a psychologically destroyed human being, who then, upon growing up, decides to become an ice cream man and continue the business his friend started. And that, of course, leaves him psychologically fucked up, and he kills people and mixes them into his ice cream. If you were to put that in, now, if you were to give that story to somebody who knew what the fuck they were doing, you would have a stellar film there. You would have the makings of an awesome psychological horror film. A film that just delves deep into the ice cream man's psyche and tries to show us everything that's going on in his head. Show us why he is that fucked up. We could have had an amazing movie there. Instead, we get a fourth-rate film. We get a fourth-rate horror movie that spends less time being frightening or even being funny, because I can tell the fucker was trying to be a horror comedy. It spends less time trying to be good or funny or interesting or, terrifying, and it spends more time shilling for Converse fucking shoes. Swear to God, guys, this movie's got a mountain of product placement, all of it for Converse shoes. I want you guys to allow this to sink in. Converse willingly allowed this fucking thing to market their shoes. But when the makers of Doctor Who decided that the 10th Doctor was going to wear Converse stepped in and said, no, you have to hide our fucking logo. So, Converse had no problem with this, but they don't like Doctor Who. And for that, Converse can go fuck themselves. Anyway, that's way off topic. Let's talk about Ice Cream Man itself. The writing. Well, I have already given you the story, and I've already told you that under the correct circumstances, this story could have been amazing. If you gave it to writers who knew how to fucking write, knew how to give us characters with some level of depth, or writers who could make us care about anything that is going on in the movie. But we don't get that. Instead, we have characters who are all incredibly shallow. The only character whose name I fucking remember is Tuna, and that's because his name is so goddamn stupid. Not only is his name stupid, but a character early on even fucking says his name is stupid. And what exactly is Tuna's whole fucking, contribution to this film? Well, our heroes are all children, and he is the requisite fat kid. Except they couldn't get a fat kid to play their fat kid, so instead they threw him in sweatshirts that looked to be about 4 sizes too big, so that way the bagginess is supposed to make him look chubby. But it doesn't. It looks basically like he's homeless and that he has been scrounging sweaters out of a fucking big and tall shop. It looks terrible. Mind you though, he has to go scrounging for sweaters in a fucking, big and tall dumpster, but he still has money for Converse shoes, because everybody in this movie has money for Converse shoes. Yeah, Converse. Sit and fucking spin. Alright, I'm going to stop talking about the shoes, I swear to God. Alright, so... But guys, like every other fucking character are just, well, let's see, we have like a bunch of cops who are just cops. None of them have any real personality beyond that. Guys, nobody here had any personality. The one actor who I hoped would turn in something decent. The actor's name is David Warner. Yeah, guys, Sark from Tron is in this fucking thing. And his character, get this, is a fucking reverend. That's it. Oh, and he's the father of the one lone female in our group of heroes. I'm going to use that term real loosely because they're not heroes, they're just irritating kids. But yeah, that right there is his one big contribution, is that he is a reverend. Whoopee! Oh, and his wife is possessed or something. There's, I think, like one whole scene that kind of tries to show that, and it's done very poorly. Characters here are shallow and weak. Our story should have been awesome, and it wound up sucking ass. Guys, There was nothing here in terms of writing. This thing is a painful hour and 22 minutes. You're never going to get back. And most of the problem is writing. Or at least I would have said that if the acting were even halfway decent. Now, I know, I've said many times that when you are handed a terrible script, you cannot expect miracles. But I was at least expecting people, such as Clint Howard or David fucking Warner, to at least know what they're doing. To at least try. But no. Warner phones it in, which I've never seen David Warner phone in a fucking performance. No matter how bad the movie is, David Warner steps up and knocks it out of the fucking park. This time, he didn't even fucking try. And as for Clint Howard, well, Clint Howard would probably have been likable if he actually put in some effort instead of just sitting there and growling out his lines as if he were Chris Nolan's Batman. Because yes, guys, he sits there the entire film growling and snarling and rasping up his voice, and it sounds fucking stupid. And the only time that he isn't, like rasping out his voice is when the police are searching his fucking, ice cream parlor, at which point he's whispering, "Oh, please don't, that over there's valuable, please don't, oh, no, that there's just candy," as the police are searching for bodies, victims, or evidence. The whole thing, guys, in terms of acting, it falls to fucking pieces. There was no one here who even put in a little bit of effort, which tells me that Clint Howard and David, Warner and everybody else were doing this just because they were getting a paycheck. I'm not sure how big, but they were probably doing this for some sort of a paycheck, because there was nothing else here that was even worth talking about. Special effects. There was one special effect in here that is going to haunt me, and it's not going to haunt me because it was gruesome. It's not going to haunt me because it was bad. It's going to haunt me because they fucking tried to hide it in the dumbest way possible. The ice cream man takes one of his victims and stabs her with something. I don't even fucking know what, because we never get to see it, but we do know he stabs her upwards. Because the handle of whatever the fuck he's stabbing her with is right here. Allow me to walk you through the scene. He lunges at her in slow fucking motion. We then cut to a reaction shot of one of the kids in the back seat, also in slow motion. We then hear a pathetic attempt at witty one-liner about fucking brain freeze. And then we cut back, and then the handle is in her, and then she sort of tilts forward, and then a little bit of blood dribbles out of her mouth. I don't know what the fuck that was trying to do. I don't know what the hell he was killing her with. I don't know how the hell brain freeze ties into it. But the last time I saw a movie that tried so desperately hard to hide its kills was fucking Psycho Cop 2. And Psycho Cop 2 would have probably been watchable if they didn't do that for every one of their fucking kills. The very fact that is the closest thing this movie ever gets to an actual on-screen kill is sad. Because guys, this movie is rated R, alright? That means that you should be trying to show us as much of the blood and the gore and the nasty as you possibly can, but no. They opted to fucking cover it up, and for the life of me, I don't know why. So we had that. Now, beyond that, almost every other special effect here is halfway decent, because almost everything else is just body parts and fake fucking blood. Except for one thing. Because at one point, the ice cream man kills two cops by cutting off their heads. And then he turns their heads into puppets, and he is moving the mouths using ice cream scoops. No, I'm not kidding. The puppets look awful. The heads look incredibly fucking rubbery. It looks really cheap, and it eats up almost 4 minutes of the fucking movie, guys. I mean, as the fucking ice cream man is sitting there, and he is just basically doing this fucking, talking head bit, where it's him talking to the two heads, and the two heads are cracking jokes, and they're arguing, and then finally he comes out and tells them that they aren't funny, even though he is the one who is doing, even though he's the one who's talking for them, and we as viewers had to sit through it. That is bullshit, guys. That though is more on writing. And that once more just shows how piss poor the writing in this goddamn thing was. Jesus. Fuck. Guys, music. Every piece of music in here sounds ridiculously cheap. In fact, almost all of it sounds as if it should be playing out of a fucking ice cream truck. That is, if your ice cream truck was trying to scare children as opposed to bring them towards you. Why? Because it's all your traditional kind of ice cream truck music. Except it's basically like remixed and spun around a little bit to make it basically sound as dark and as creepy as possible. However, it doesn't sound dark and creepy when you're doing it on a Casio keyboard. It sounds like shit. Oh my god. But, with all that said, at least on a technical level, the movie's alright. The camera work and the sound mix and the lighting are all fine. It's just a pity that those are the only positives I can pull from this thing, are the fucking technicals, because everything else shits the fucking bed so badly. The writing, the acting, the special effects, everything else, guys, falls to pieces. So when all is said and done, can I recommend Ice Cream Man? No. There is no fucking way in hell I'm going to recommend this. This movie is torturous. If you really want to see how bad this movie is, then by all means, go right ahead and watch it. But guess what? I am warning you right now. It is an hour and 22 minutes you're never gonna get back. So please, just don't fucking bother. The movie is a waste of time. The movie is a waste of space. And yeah, this movie is just a fucking waste, straight up. Now, because this is Fan Appreciation Month, Ice Cream Man came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in is a longtime viewer and friend of the show, Medio. And if you guys could please click on the link in this video's description, that goes to Medio's sites.google.com page. Go over there and check out everything he has. And Medio, thank you. I was kind of curious when a couple of people asked me if I would cover this. I had no idea what I was getting into. I genuinely was hoping for this movie to at least be kind of cheesy, maybe just kind of like cheesy in a funny way, and it wound up just being incredibly painful. But I would never have found out, Medio, if you hadn't sent it in. So, dude, thank you, and you are awesome. Now, holy shit, I need to go watch something better. I don't know what yet. Let's see, let me scan my Blu-ray. You know what? Fuck it. Farscape. I'm gonna go watch some more of Farscape because I'm like halfway through the first season and it's getting really good. So anyway, guys, with that we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.